Oregon has been far and away the best team in all of college football this season, and a big part of the reason has been the trench play. The offensive and defensive line up front for the Ducks has been really impressive, despite that being a bit of a concern with Oregon joining the Big Ten this year. A lot was made on if they would have the physicality to match the Big Ten level of play, and they're in the Big Ten championship, so they've answered that question. Everything has been super impressive for them, but the bookend tackles for Oregon have made a huge rise on many draft boards. Oregon left tackle Josh Conerly is a player who is rising up a ton of draft boards at the moment. A player with elite athletic tools is having a career season for Oregon and has been a player who some think could sneak into the first round. In a weaker offensive tackle class, how high could Conerly get taken in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be going over in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board with over 550 prospects and evaluations. You will also be able to participate in weekly polls to help me decide on which prospects to do in a future video. This is one that was voted on by you guys in the Patreon, so if you want to have a say in the future, I highly recommend signing up today. Leave a comment down below and let me know which prospects you would like to see, and without further ado, let's get into it. Conerly has put up some solid numbers for the Ducks over the last 2 seasons, and has been super productive at the left tackle position. In 2023, he played in 901 offensive snaps for Oregon, allowing 17 pressures and 1 sack on the year. He was incredibly up and down and was a bit of a project entering 2024. He wasn't really a player that I had on my radar as a big riser, but he has improved a ton this year and ended up making Dane Brugler's mock draft 1.0 as a first round pick. He has played 818 offensive snaps for the Ducks, allowing just 6 pressures and 1 sack this year, and has been flying up early draft boards. The biggest standout with Conerly is his athleticism. He absolutely explodes out of his stance, and he has some really good movement skills. He has incredible recovery quickness, and if he does lose a step, he has the ability to put himself right back in the play because his footwork and foot speed is really quick. He also has the speed to get up to the second level in the run game. He moves very fluidly for his position and has some of the best overall athleticism of any tackle in the 2025 draft class. In pass protection, that is where I think Conerly is at his best. He's not perfect by any means, but he shows some really high-end traits at times. He has some really solid hand placement and makes sure to get to the outside shoulders of defenders, and I think he's got some solid footwork. He moves his feet well and is able to react quickly enough to not allow defenders to get around him. His footwork does look a little choppy at times, but as we've said twice now, he makes up for it with his athleticism. I also think he has really good hands in pass protection and knows how to counter pass rush moves and win the rep. He's been great this year in pass pro and could be awesome at the next level if he's developed correctly. The most inconsistent part of Conerly's game was his anchor. I don't want to say it's bad, but there are times when he is completely ran over by defenders and stronger, more powerful rushers are able to push the pocket a little bit easier than you would like to see. There are times when his mechanics are right and he shows that really strong base that you would like to see, and he gets the hands on the outside shoulders and he's able to hold his ground. But it's really inconsistent, and I'd like to see a little bit more consistency in his anchor. As a run blocker, I have a lot of issues when it comes to his game. Conerly looks completely out of control at times, and despite having the athleticism, it felt like he oftentimes couldn't make contact. He took a lot of poor angles in the run game, which led to him not being able to connect with defenders and players getting tackled. The other issue I have is when he does make contact, defenders often bounce right off of him. His play strength is incredibly underwhelming, and it really shows up in the run blocking areas of his game, and I need to see improvement. The play strength is something that if he doesn't test out very well, will be the reason that he slides down draft boards. And if you watch him against the run, it's pretty disappointing a lot of times. Josh Conerly is a good overall prospect. He's a great athlete, has had good production, and shows some really high potential in the pass protection area of the game, which is becoming more and more valuable in the NFL. As a run blocker, I think he has a lot of work to do, and the play strength as a whole is not amazing. He is my number 11 offensive tackle in the draft class, which I know a lot of people are going to complain about and say that that's really low, but I think there are some better bets to be instant starters and some more versatile pieces. It doesn't mean Conerly won't develop into a good tackle. I just have some concerns with his anchor and his overall play strength. And the run blocking, we've talked about it too many times at this point. He is my number 70 overall prospect in the class. In terms of a scheme fit, I like Conerly to be in a heavy play action, wide zone rushing attack scheme that prioritizes drop back passing. He has the athleticism to land blocks in space, and where he has thrived in the run game is when it is in the wide zone areas. He's not great of getting up to the second level when it's in between the tackles, but if he can get out wide and make plays in space, I think you could get some decent play from him as a run blocker. But we mentioned how good he is as a pass protector, and he's been really good in play action for Oregon this year as well. And I think that would be a chance for him to develop into a really good left tackle at the next level. My player comparison for Josh Conerly is Atlanta Falcons left tackle Jake Matthews. Matthews has been a reliable pass blocker for Atlanta his entire career. He is a solid athlete who's good in space and is a serviceable run blocker, but he's never been viewed as an elite run blocker at any point in his career. I think Conerly could be a very similar type of player at the next level. He's a good pass blocker, but he really needs some refinement in the run game, and he's going to have a starting role at the next level. Josh Conerly is a clean pass protector. Conerly has a really high ceiling in pass pro, and he's got really good overall reaction times and footwork. He has to really improve his play strength, get better in the run game, and improve his consistency in his anchor, but ultimately, I believe NFL teams are going to fall in love with the athleticism and the traits, and I think that Josh Conerly will be a top 50 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.